Hello and welcome to Face Check. You're joining me as I again talk you through one of the decks that I'm currently playing and working on. Certainly, again, not tier 1, although this style of deck I think did make an appearance on the recent Worlds feed, the stream from FFG. This is coming to you the day after Worlds is done. Alas, no UK winner, but Dave going, having a very good solid showing, coming in third, and if it wasn't for that top deck, possibly could have even won. But congratulations to Dan, taking it down back to back, and just goes to show that Netrunner is not really a game of luck in the long run. How you put your deck together and how you play are very important parts. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep seeing the same players at the top. So this deck came about after a bit of chat on Twitter with Jaffer and not the hamster, Richard Hammond. They were talking about how they could turn off things, well, C-Source, turn off mid-seasons and punitive, and make make Plascrete almost redundant. Now in the UK meta, those are fairly important cards. We're all about the kill here, and that got me looking into it a bit more. So the crux of the deck is to have Film Critic. That way you never actually steal an agenda, so you can't be punitive counter-struck, and you can't be mid-seasons because you've never stolen one. Additionally, C-Source switched off just by New Angeles City Hall, and that's just a card on its own. But the amount of cards that currently give you a tag are quite high. Gutenberg, paying 2 is a lot more palatable than beating a Trace 7. And additionally, you can run into Data Raven for the additional 2 credit cost, and not have to worry about having to float that tag later on. The crux of the best way of taking advantage of Film Critic and not stealing the agenda straight away, and to slow down fast advance, is to use the Source. Now the Source was it was played a little bit when it first came out, but very rapidly fell out of favour. Film Critics really made this card a lot better, so rather now than relying on Fall Guys to trash those in place of the Source, again, by never stealing an agenda, you never have to trash the Source, and the same with New Angeles City Hall. So this kind of combo, the Film Critic, New Angeles City Hall and the Source, all work very well together to keep you out of trouble and to make things harder for the corporation. So after that, really just kind of putting a deck together. So in terms of money, standard sure gambles. You want them in your opening hand. Playing out of Andromeda, perhaps that's a better place to start. Starting ID Andromeda because of the consistency of her 9-card hand. If you can see a lot of your combo pieces in your opening hand, then you don't have to go drawing for them quite as hard as you might do with another runner. You'll see here I'm running 46 cards, which obviously decreases the efficiency slightly. However, I don't really know what I would want to cut. Everything that got 3 off I tend to want in my opening hand, or want to play 3 off throughout the game. But let's talk through a little bit more about how it's all put together. So money, sure gamble, standard there. If that's the first card you play, you're laughing. Your dream opening hand for Andromeda would be sure gamble, Desperado, usually Data Sucker. I'm not running Data Suckers, but something like maybe John Masanori, and then Dirty Laundry, Archives if it's open. That would require me to have a double in my hand though, because then John Masanori would draw you a card and then you'd have to discard one, but regardless. So something along those lines. Rest of money is made up of Easy Mark. Now this deck can go to very low credits in the early game. Having a couple of Easy Marks, actually very good there. Bank Job, there's a glut of remotes these days. Bank Job for 2 clicks for 7 credits. That's a pretty good deal. as long as you can get in somewhere. And additionally, you know, couples with Desperado and John Masanori's, they all work together, so you actually get 2 clicks for a card draw and 8 credits, which will be you know, which is phenomenal return on investment. Then long-term economy is Catty Jones. You just need a Catty Jones to carry you into the end game. If you can keep loading that up while you burn through your one-time economy options, then you're set up for the late game, and the corporation can't keep you out. Finally, I've just thrown in a security test, and that is a very good card. If you can have archives open or a remote open, and you know, click one security test, a remote or an open server, to draw a card, get 3 credits, you know, you're not getting better value than that. So money wise, Criminal's rich, also account siphon. Now I did initially run it without account siphons, but I found myself wanting them so many times that I eventually put them in. You can also negate the tag taking has been a problem with New Angeles City Hall, because you can actually just pay for the tags during the run as long as you have the money, and that way you're not losing any tempo from clearing tags. Now you can't float tags. There's 16 resources in this deck, and you know, you really don't want them. You've always got to keep a hold of at least 2 credits to avoid 1 tag, and ideally, you know, you want more money than that, and you can get away with it. So the other parts of the deck, Breaker Suite, so Cerberus Rex for code gates. I did have a zoo in here up until very recently, but it was too expensive really, paying for both the strength and the subs, so I've put in an extra Cerberus instead, and we'll see how that goes for me. Corroder, just, you know, the quintessential barrier breaker, well worth the influence to spend on it. A couple of fairies just to get me past, no, pausing there, a couple of fairies to get me past bad sentries. You can put them down early doors because both my other sentry breakers are super expensive. Femme Fatale, that's not there as a main sentry breaker, is there for the bypass ability, but can in a pinch get you through most things. Then Garrot, getting you, you know, the corroder of the sentry world. However, it does cost 5 more to install. 4 more to install? 5 more to install. How do I not know what corroder costs? And then finally, a bit of secret tech and Gingerbread. Again, you know, there's so many tracer programs out there, or tracer ice at the moment. It's just really good to have. You know, this gets you through, this in New Angeles City Hall gets you through Data Raven for 2 to pass a tag, and then another 3 to get past Data Raven, so 5. And it's taxing, but you should have enough money to get you in when you need to. Now the thinking behind the deck as a whole, is to have the source out. You know, it's remote pressure. I've got no multi-access into HQ, I've no multi-access into R&D. All I need to do is stall the corporation out until they have to install advance something, and then go get it. This version has come about, I'll talk you through some of the key changes that I've made at least. Levy, I do run out of cards like all the time, because the corp will stall until they can maybe think of a way to get around your setup. Run out of cards very, very quickly. Additionally, any sort of damage that you're taking, this could spell the end. I perhaps should have some same old things just in case this card itself gets binned. Then Clone Chip came up against an uncorrodable deck, and that kind of pushed me over the edge there. With only a single Fractor, caused me trouble. And clone chips are, you know, quite handy if you do somehow end up getting tagged. That Keegan Lane can trash your stuff. You need a way of bringing it back. So Levy and clone chip to get around if it comes to that. And then I did have more street peddlers initially. I had 3 street peddlers. I went for the fast draw, try and get everything on there, and there's nothing better than the surprise source of a street peddler. You know, the corporal set up prepared to deal with clot, but they're not set up to deal with the source, and when that drops out, there's no answer to it, so they have to leave the agenda they were installing, and you can then go and get it. So all that works pretty well in theory, but I found too many things were on Street Peddler. You see there's a lot of one-offs in terms of programs, you know, a few one-offs and resources, and quite a lot of events if nothing else. It's handy early doors. If you can get it down, it's a bit of extra draw, you know. Inject's no good here. You don't want to be drug dealing, because there's no way of getting rid of it again, and yeah, it's just, it's good at what it does. It's a very good card, you know, 0 cost, reduces the cost of whatever you install, and only 1 influence, so that is in there. So let's see how this works out and how this plays. Played a few games with it, but not tonight. Let me start a new game. Face checks game. Let me put that is going to be recorded, and I'll create that and see if anybody wants to come in and play. Now I'll swap sides and choose my deck. So Jinteki.net is actually going a little slow at the moment. It's probably due for a server update. MTG Red, he's on his way back to Belgium from Worlds, so when he gets back he'll take a look at the server and see what needs to be done. So Worlds, I don't know if anybody managed to see it. If you've not, go head over to the Twitch for FFG Live. You'll be able to see all the games there. The Netrunner games were almost all phenomenal, and a few were missed. I'm looking forward to Team Covenant's coverage of the missed matches. During the Imperial Assault final, there was a massive roar went up, and all the Netrunner players watching the stream were like, oh, you know, really wanted to see that. And that will be shown by Team Covenant, and you know, commentated by Stephen Woolley, who was doing the commentary for FFG as well, at least on day 2. And yeah, it's really worth watching. Dave Hoyland, Cerberus, he came a very admirable third, and then, you know, he could have possibly gone second, you know, or even won it, if he didn't get a little unlucky with an R&D access. And but two very good winners at the top. Timmy, weird and wonderful deck, shown there as well. Like it was an entirely different way to play Near Earth Hub, very interesting. And you know, Valencia DLR, not the Docklands Light Railway, but Data Elite Reversal, did very well. You know, that was probably the more common Anarch, beating out even Noise. Fairly good showing for a lot of different decks. Dave was the only criminal in the top 16, playing as Leela. And I do have a Leela deck. There's nothing like his. His one's probably actually good. And yeah, it was great to watch all of the games, and I'll watch them a second or even third time, and we'll see when that goes up. Hopefully, you know, guys at Team Covenant head home and get on that as quickly as possible. But much like me, they cover every game, so when that will be up, don't quite know. Okay, so people might be scared of being recorded. I could have perhaps done this in 2 halves, where I talk you through the deck and then waited until somebody was actually going to play. Oh, here we go. We've got somebody to bite. Let me just double check. Okay, with me recording. Right. Cool. Right, we've got ourselves a game. So let's see what we're up against. As you see, a little bit of lag there. RP. I don't know how I'll handle RP. I've not had much of a chance against it yet, I don't think. But here's a lot of the stuff that I want. Yeah, I mean, this is great money cards along with Earthrise to draw afterwards. So yeah, absolutely keep this hand. Perhaps I will Desperado, Dirty Laundry Archives, Bank Job Earthrise, Bank Job Dirty Laundry if he puts out a remote. Now I'll get Earthrise going. Now the source isn't going to be too much of an issue for him. Oh, we've gone horizontal, a horizontal RP. Okay, so Desperado, Dirty Laundry, R&D. See what we find. Probably a snare. Seems like a more tricksy sort of deck here. So Desperado. Yeah, lag is brutal. Yeah, this is not going to be a fun and quick game to watch. Should wait. Right, let's see what we get. Alright, it's not too painful to play, but it's probably not a lot of fun to watch. Susan, now I'm okay. I do have a number of ways around Susan, I guess. Then I'm actually going to... Do I need to check any of his remotes? I don't think I do. But let me... Dirty Laundry. Actually, if he's got mental health clinics, I might get rid of them. Server 2. Now, there's people that have different psychologies for where they might put cards. Some people install agendas closer to their hand. Some people install them last. Not that I'm saying any of these are agendas, but we'll see how it goes. Do I want to trash pad campaign? Yes. And then I'm going to drop that Earthrise to get my draw going. I can always probably at least get Bank Job down and go get money again. It's not a huge problem getting rid of pad. Now hand size increased by 1 as well. Still, let us see. So he's probably going to ice up R&D here with something, if he can find anything, that is. Susan, he obviously can't res. Oh, maybe he's struggling. I might come into HQ, see if I can force him to res something. So easy mark. No, I need to money up first. And then I'll go get a Sentry Breaker and then we'll be golden. Bank Job. Now I'll run Archives. I get a credit for that anyway, it's the same as taking a money. Desperado. Still probably the best console in the game. Get a credit and then I will run on server 1. Half tempted to trash it. Oh, the lag is terrible this evening. Should never have clicked on that first. Alright, so I'm moneyed up. Yeah, I'll go fetch. I might actually just go and fetch Garrot off the bat, and I'm not sure what else might be getting run in RP. Could be up against some Archangels. Oh, here we go. Here's some information. I'll take this information as soon as I get to see what's in his hand. Now, as I have no multi-access HQ, I have no multi-access R&D. I'm all about the remote pressure. But obviously Caprice is a thing, Ash is a thing. So there's a Nisei, a Sundew. You might install the Sundew and res it, but it'd be a little bit of a waste. No, he's not. Okay, so he's got money as well. I'm going to get a couple of cards. Ooh. Yes, right. Dirty Laundry Archives. I mean, that gets me 6 money. 3, 4 money, I guess. John Masanori would have been good to have out. Then I'm going to fetch Garrot. And then I'm going to install Garrot. And then I'm going to run HQ and see how lucky I am. Now, running HQ last click. I know there's nothing bad in there, but this could be anything. Let's see if he reses. Toll booth. Boo. Well, still, that's 8 credits. I don't mind. And then I'll jack out. So now I'm going to go a little more. I'm going to force him to res this again next turn as well. I might install Film Critic first in case I come across Future Perfect. Save me playing that Psy game. Or in fact, I'm not quite sure what the timing is. If I can lose the Psy game and still Film Critic. Because if that was the case, I would bid 0. See if he bids anything, and then do it. Much like Imp. I'm unsure. I'm going to have to look that timing one up. If anybody can tell me in the comments, please do. So now there's an Enigma. That's going to go over R&D. Probably. Now I could inside job that code gate, the toll booth, but probably no. He's not putting it there. Alright, let's see what happens. So, okay, so let's drop Film Critic. Then let's run R&D. Am I scared of anything? Well, he's got loads of money. Yeah, there's probably lots of bad things that he could raise that I can't get. Oh, 2 credits. 1, 2. Sure thing. Get credit back anyway for Desperado. Not the worst. I would love to steal something off the top here, but I'd have to be quite lucky. That is no problem. Eli, let's keep the draw machine going. And then let me gain a credit. Not the most exciting end of turn, I don't suppose. How much is MSC to crash? 3. Okay. Yeah, so it could be I end up playing a different game to demonstrate the deck. Just this is far too slow. But I am very curious as to how it holds up to Jinteki. Right, so that's an Enigma, and that's a Susan, but he's not a, oh, it's a Sundew. So no, that's maybe not what things are then. Might be. Well, let's see what I get. Yes, let's dump Peddler. And Catty, Inside Job, Cerberus C. That's a problem with Street Peddler, because all these cards are very good. Alright, not to worry. I am going to... Can I let him have money? Yes is the answer. However, there's also a 1 in 3 chance of picking that Nisei Mark II out of his hand. I am going to money up. So Cat E, money on Cat E. Probably just click for credits. Oh, the lag is awful. Not an enjoyable thing at all. Now I could go get that. You know, ultimately I don't really care if he's got money. The source is still a pain in the butt for 5-3s, future perfect, because that's going to be 3 whole turns that the has to sit out on the board. So install, advance, 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 advance. But it does give him another click to do something with. So install, advance, advance, then advance, advance, do something, advance, advance, do something. This is all very exciting. Right. If only I hadn't binned that. So I could credit, gamble, catty. Yeah, and I'm going to bin fairy. I don't really need it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 7 cards there, but goodbye, fairy. And fairy's still good even with Garrot out, because you don't have to pay to break subroutines. However, I'm not expecting too many big subroutine sentries. Now, all of these things are things that I should get rid of. Jackson, yes, can't let him keep drawing. Now, is he going to advance this? Yes. Okay. I'm somewhat tempted to fem it. Right, so that's a caprice in there. Let me... Alright, first things first. Run archives. Now, if I drop the source, it's going to take him an extra turn to score. Right? So that'll teach him. And so there's 1. 2 is bank job. 3 is run server 1. Take bank job money. Luckily I know it's there, so I don't have to jack out and do the manual bank job stuff. And a successful run. No, I'll leave that there. And the last click is the source, which should in fact ruin his day. And that is that. Okay, so now next turn I'm going to archives probably, then I will inside job server 5. I might just fem it. Slows you down. Yeah, so that's it. You know, an install advance is no longer a power move, but it does give them the chance to build up that extra piece of ice. Plus these are problematic. Yeah, okay, I've screwed myself there. So that is an enigma, a Susan. Alright, run. If it Alright, if I can win this game, I can get it. I'm going to run R&D, and I think that's going to cost me an extra click. Let's find out. Feck, it only cost me 1. Oh, the lag. The lag. Then I'm going to fem that inside piece, then I'm going to inside job, and then I've just got to beat Caprice. Easy, right? He's going to bid 2. He's got loads of money. Absolutely no reason not to bid 2. Probably been watching Worlds as well. Knows that 2 is the bid. Hoyland, master of Psy games. Then I will fem. This is now his scoring remote. And then I will inside job server 5. I'm pretty broke. I can always cat you back up, but so he might not res on this one. Oops. Don't know if I finished typing there. Yep, did. So if he reses this, right, so bypass that with inside job. So he should just let me continue there. And then he'll res. This could be Enigma, to be fair. I'll pay the 2. I mean, if it's an Ash in there, I can't get it for Toffee. Yeah, so res and Caprice as well. I'll break 1 Sentry subroutine. Now Caprice is only 1 to trash, right? Alright, so now the fem will go off. Now, 2 or 1. It's almost definitely not 0. It's a game. I'm going to bid 2 because whatever, it's only money, right? Yes, it's always 2. And then I'll taunt my opponent. No, Charles, get out of my head. Sweet. So, let us do this. I will first access Caprice. I will pay 1 to trash Caprice. I will then access this Nisei, but instead I will host it on Film Critic, so the source remains. I will host an agenda being accessed, because if nothing else I can't afford to pay the 3 that the source would make me. Oh my goodness, this game is murder. There's no way I'm uploading this. And then I'm going to store 3 credits there. Okay, so let me now work out what this cost me to get through. Language Higgs. Right, so that will cost me 5, 6, 7. So this is a currently 7 cost server. Well, I'm getting. And he's also quite poor. If only I could. Right, so it's archives, then I'm going to run server 3. I might run server 3 last click, because that's probably the enigma. I don't know, draw. Draw. Oh, I really want rid of that sundew. Draw first anyway. Aha. That is interesting. So, what would... No, a tool would cost me more than a siphon would be worth. Draw. Another inside job. Excellent. Store 3. And I will actually drop another film critic. Sometime I might want to keep that as a little bit of a surprise, but that's fine. The next turn I'll take one off, and I won't need to install another film critic. Take off money on Catty again, probably. This is it. So the way the deck works is that you kind of just put the corporation on lockdown. You know, they've not got a safe scoring window. I'm happy to drag it out. The longer it takes for him to Jackson back the Caprice to maybe have a Caprice, the happier I am. Although he is going to start gaining 4 credits a turn. But I don't need to beat him in money. I only need enough to get in and win the side game. Now, after playing that side game there and bidding 2, next time he's probably going to bid 1. Don't ask me why. I don't think there's any logical reasoning behind that. But I'm alright. Interns. That's a card, isn't it? Well, do you know what? There's no point in me trying this server to get the Caprice, because if I can beat it anyway, then I might as well just do it on the turn that is worth something. I wonder if he's got anything in hand. I wonder if that's why he is installing it again. As I said, with the source out, you know, the 3-pointer takes 3 turns to score. So draw, see what we find. Really need more Fems against RP. Store 3 and get me some points. Hey. Now, taking cards off Film Critic does not count as stealing. It's simply moving it from Film Critic to your scored area. So there's no chance of reprisal. You know, no punitive Counter-Strike or mid-seasons or anything along those lines, which is fine. Now, there's also, or at least there was, hostages in this deck, so you can go fetch all the kind of pieces you want. The Source is a connection, Catty Jones is a connection, Film Critic's a connection, John and ball. So 1, 2, inside job that. Yeah, okay. What does Caprice cost to raise? 2. If I 1, 2, 3 siphon, 4 inside job. One. Alright, let me work this out. 2's install Rex. Rex will cost me 3, then 3 for toll booth, then another 4 for toll booth, and then 1 token, so that's fine. So 4, 10. It's 10 for thingy. Oh, of course he's got 10 credits now, those 5. Yep, stupid plan. Don't worry about it. I'm going to run archives on the assumption that even if I lose a click here, that's okay. And at best I'll pick up a credit for Desperado. Crick. Fires. Just always another pad campaign. Whatever. He's got me beat on money. And theoretically that card's currently blank because there is nothing to install from archives. So if I wanted to, I could run there with impunity. Continue. Might as well get a credit out of it. Now this is probably another Nisei Mark II. So Nisei guarding Nisei. Then I could get 2 goes at this. One, I can inside job without much worries. And then the second time I can pay my way through. Yorp. Okay, so continue here. Oh my goodness, the lag. How long has this game been going on so far? Relatively interesting, but very, very, very slow. Game be over in half the time if the lag wasn't there. Okay, so I get past this one as well, and then we play a game. Now he's back up to 7 credits. Would he bid 2? Yeah, side game. I think he will bid 1. See what happens. Drum roll, please. Oh, none. Baller. Alright, let's go again. Five. Come on. Oh, this is the worst. The worst. 6. So now I don't know what to spend. Let's bypass there, then we'll play another game. He's got 7 credits, he needs 3 to advance. He might go 2 again. He might go none, he might go 1. He's seen me bid 1 there. He knows that I'm poor, but it doesn't matter. If he goes none again, he doesn't need the money. I'm going to go 2 again. Oh, you son of a gun. Right, so that's the end of that source, so I'll have to go digging for another one. I'm also broke. Yes, he's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3 at the start of his turn. Yeah. Yeah, problematic. So that's you've witnessed there exactly why many people hate Psy games. You know, you've set up, you've saved your moves, you go in to get the agenda, and then you're just shut out 1 in 3 chance twice. Oh, almost thought that was a future perfect there. But no, you'll score the Nisei here. That'll bin the source and cause me problems. Oh, NAPD. Well, I never. Okay, so that's better. You know, I scored Nisei there. Pretty much the end of the game. Being able to get in there 3 times and score, beat the Psy game 3 times is nigh on impossible. So if I draw, if I can find John Masanori, I'll be happy. Don't really need that. I could probably float. Well, I couldn't really float tax. He'd been all my stuff. Let's just put money on Catty and then credit. Oh, come on, so slow. Credit. That'll be the end of my turn. If I had an easier way of getting into those remotes, I could have trashed a lot of his economy and he'd be in a bit more trouble. I now have to assume that this is an Enigma. No, this could be an Enigma, but if it was, he probably would have raised it another time when I ran in order to make me lose a click, so I couldn't have got in and got this first Nisei. Well, balls to that. He's gonna have to. Yeah, he's only gonna have to single advance it if it is an Nisei. Right, so let me think. I need 7. No, I need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 credits. Well, YOLO. So 1 takes me to 8. Then I run on archives, takes me to 9. Then I gain a credit, takes me to 10, and then I run that remote. Although I no longer know what he's going to bid. Well, not that I ever knew, but it's very hard to make a guess. I don't know if that's him just realising that Crick does nothing. Go me for not trashing anything. Oh no, wait. Yeah, Joe Masanori here would be handy, just keeping drawing and pulling maybe a couple more money cards out. Yeah, there it is. Then I'm going to gain a credit. And finally, I really need to get this card. Run server 5. Here we go. Okay, so 5 for strength. Why are you so slow? Oh, Jinteki.net. Why are you so slow? That is the Jinteki.net jingle. You can feel free to use that. And if you want to approach me for any future jingles, just let me know. Now the reason I need these extra 3 credits at the end is to be able to effectively bid on the Psy game and still be able to trash the Caprice at the end of it. Then spend 1 credit to bypass, so the Lotus Field is what the Fem is on. Now I have clicked minus money. Oh my, it's getting slower and slower and slower. You'll see the games have gone down from 55 I think to 34. People just giving up, as I may do shortly. Right, Psy game. Now, does he think that I've gone to this in order that I want to bid 2 again? Does he go none? Does he go 1? Corp always goes 1, right? I don't think he'll go none. I don't think he'll go 2. I'm going to go 1. Yeah. games. Now you see how much fun it is choosing how to play a side game. You know those people that like roll dice and just think it's random. Those people are idiots. You have to think about what your opponent's done, what you know about your opponent, what your respective credit pools are. If he knows what you know, what would you do? But what if you know that he knows what you know? Brilliant. Yeah, side games are not random. Side games are based on board state, and the people that hate side games the most tend not to realise that. I now realise I could run on 9 credits, because if I was successful, I get an extra credit to trash Nisei with. I'm not saying it's the most elegant solution to... I might as well just steal it because I don't have the source out. So it cost me nothing. And if he's running punitive, I'd be very, very surprised. Right, so I need to get up to money as quickly as possible. I'm not going to run on archives to do so, however, because I do not want him reinstalling Caprice. Yeah, so side games are not a particularly elegant solution to the problem. You see in the sort of last release and a little more and more, ice with on-encounter effects, things that you can't just get around by having the right breakers without some other caveat. I think that's a pretty good step in the right direction for where it should go. I'm less happy with the randomness of the side game and things like Keegan Lane. Well, what is that? What is that? Is that another Caprice? You just installed another Caprice there? Yeah, trashing your stuff. It hurts criminals who at the moment are definitely the weakest faction. I said only one criminal in the top 16 at Worlds. Oh, this is so slow and depressing. Criminals have the worst end of recursion. Please just give me my credits. So trashing their stuff to keep them out makes them a bit sad. They're going to need something to perhaps redress that balance a little. I'm going to give it a second, see if the game will catch up to my clicks. Let's go again. Gain credit. Pause. But the on-encounter effects, they don't have to be, they're just a attack, say, another element of the game that I don't think's been fully explored, and hopefully more of those type of effects will occur. So even once you're set up, there'll be a combination of effects. You can set up like a perfect remote that will make it very, very difficult for the runner to get in, regardless of the fact that they're entirely set up and have 100 credits or all the pieces that they need. Yeah, so to kind of looking forward to the next couple of cycles. Hopefully we'll see more and more of that kind of play out, and Netrunner continue to evolve and not just be the Batty trash, the Keegan trash, the Caprice side game. The Ash is good design. If you can keep ahead of the runner with money. Right, now he's causing me some grief. That could be anything there. So I'm going to have to install as well. Yeah, I just need to draw for money. Do I think that's a barrier is the question, because I don't have a solution for that. Okay, I'm going to shrink the screen a little here, just so we can see everything on the one screen. Do I think... No, I can't be sneaking anything out. Yeah, so I need to dig for breakers now. I need I've got Cerberus, which is enough to get me in somewhere, although I need loads of money. I wonder if he's binned an agenda. Nah, he's got Jackson on the board. Wouldn't matter. Sunju, I don't care. You can have as much money as you want. I'm out of the money game. Right, so draw. Money on Catty. Let's see what we get with the draw. Use another sure gamble. How many sure gambles have we used? Just the one? Only one easy mark as well? Yes. Aha. Yes, I'm going to immediately use that to go get corroder. I'm then going to install corroder because in real life I won't have enough time. When I have to make a run on that server, I'll have to make a run on that server. And it's not going to get any cheaper to install, so might as well go for it. And then store 3. Now Catty's the fastest way of building up money. A little bit of a pain in the butt to get it off. You know, cost a click to take the money off, click to run, and then at best we'll get 2 attempts at this remote. So it's still a lot to play for here. I would ideally be able to draw into another source. I need money, I need everything. I'm not in a good position here. I'm not set up, I don't have the cash. I've got a nightmare server to get through, and it's just getting worse, and he can definitely afford to res. You see, yeah, so he's going to rush out whatever that is there. If it's a Nisei token, which it is, or it's an NAPD, one of the two, I am in a world of hurt. There's no point trying to drain his credits by running somewhere else, and there's no real point in siphoning through a toll booth, so I'm just going to have to let that one go, unfortunately. So we get that. It's not even worth it for Masanori, I don't think. What could be in here? I can't let him install another Caprice. Right, draw, money on Catty, credit maybe. If this game was at normal speed, it would entirely be over by now, one way or the other. This is not indicative of how Jinteki.net plays. Normally quite fast, but it does need sort of a server reset every week or so, which normally only takes, you know, sort of 10-15 minutes. Alright, click it again, see what happens. And normally it's very, very smooth, if you can see from my other videos. If you've not watched my other videos, you know, please do so. Oh, discard to 6. Well, Desperado you can get stuffed. Film Critic you can get stuffed. Or maybe you can't. Why don't we spend some time waiting for the server to catch up? You know what, it's a shame, it's been an enjoyable game. You know, been moderately decent chat over the top, giving you a reasonable insight into how the deck works and some of the weak points, up against probably, you know, a very popular archetype. You know, still very, very strong. It didn't do quite so well in the world of Fast Advance, or at Worlds, in a meta full of Fast Advance, and people kind of set up for it, but it's still a very, very strong deck. And yeah, I mean, like, RP punishes criminals probably the most. You know, Shaper's got a way of getting in, Anarch's got a way of blowing things up, criminals just don't really have it, whereas, you know, criminals excel slightly better at you know, the Fast Advanced decks. You know, MBNs traditionally suffered to them, but now they're just too fast, and criminals not had any of the tools to catch up. So this is probably a Nisei. I wonder if there's any more in his hand. And would he spend the token? It's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You know, if I were to run in here, which I could do, he could stop me, and then he'd have a scoring window for here. yeah, I've pretty much lost this game. The Nisi token's critical. Once that's there, there's no coming back. Fairy makes no odds. It's a 1 credit swing. Draw. Money on Catty. Credit. Yeah, I mean even a double siphon's not going to do anything here. Store 3. Well, let's ban Gingerbread. You're not doing me any good here. And then Hostage. I'm never going to have 2 clicks spare to play you. And I'm probably not going to worry about tags if I take them. So that is the end of you. Gain credit. So yeah, I'm out of options. This will be a rare loss. Normally I win like 90, 100% of my games. I'm probably the greatest Netrunner player in the world. But I guess I'll just have to suck this one up. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what I could have done differently. I maybe could have went for the economy when I had the chance. What did I install? I installed Catty on instead of Cerberus. I think that's probably right. I mean, especially since I didn't see Cerberus Rex off Street Peddler. Probably shouldn't even have used Street Peddler. Was the problem there. I could have been fully set up by now. Catty is that's pretty much game there, isn't it? Let me think what I can do. 1, 2, and get into HQ twice. No real choice, I don't suppose. Alright, 1. 2. Yeah, I've got no way of winning this. But we live in hope. So if I run here, if he's got anything in hand, he might stop me or he might not. I don't know. What's it going to cost me to get in? 3. Oh, it costs so much. It's obscene. Absolutely obscene. And like I've not even got the credits to get in here. What I need 9. I'll be relying on those being less than 4. What's in there? Do I care if he installs another Caprice? Nah. Alright, let's run Archives. No, give me a credit. Oh, there's no point. Can I take that back? I forgot you had the token. If he lets me get to click back, I'll go for HQ and see what happens. Yeah. Okay. It's not any better. If he lets me into HQ, then I can't get in anywhere else. Doesn't even matter. HQ. Like, he just stops the run, regardless. And I've not got the credits to get in anywhere. So, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. Could not get money fast enough there. Four and a token. If he doesn't stop the run, he's probably not got anything in hand. could have went digging for the source, but that's just delaying the inevitable, unfortunately. Now if I had the source in hand, still wouldn't help. So poor. So poor. And then one last run at HQ. You never know. It could be a 1 in 5. Could be more than that. It could be better than that. I lose 3. Oh no, I've not got the money. Alright, I just have to jack out. Well, that sucked. Yeah, it was a good match, but I just kind of petered out there. One more credit would have seen. See if you had anything in hand. Yeah, here you'll just win. Triple advance the future perfect. Yeah. Now I still have to win a side game for it. Like I could put it on Film Critic, but so what? Eh. I mean, had I hit an Nisei, had I hit a, in fact nothing else, just a Nisei, and there's only one of them left, so that was that. Alright, that sucked, but it was a good game. I'm not going to argue too much with that. I'm going to watch some of this back, see how terrible it is. Again, you know, people can tell me what I did wrong. Ice or pup? Eli pup. So that would have cost me, well, I had to take the hit. I couldn't afford to get through Eli anyway. Yeah. Yep, nothing I could do there. Yeah, people tell me what sucked about my deck, what sucked about my playing, what they might have done. The top card is Future Perfect. Future Perfect's everywhere. Oh wait. What's in the remote? There's a Future Perfect of R&D and one in his hand, and I've got one. Then that can't be a 3-pointer. In server 5, I assume this was game over. It's still game over anyway. We'll not play out the end. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion. There's no way I can get money fast enough. He could easily score out the Future Perfect in that remote. Global Food, GFI, going for it. Cool. Yeah, if I could have found a Global Food, that would have done me. Loads of things would have done me. I wonder what his agenda composition is then. 3 Future Perfects, 3 Niseis. What's that? 9, 15. Any PD in a Global Food, 20. Yeah. Yeah, reasonable. You're just hanging around for the post-game chat now. Yeah, but Crim peters out. Yeah, I mean, you know, Criminal against RP. It was kind of RP's why you know, Criminal's seen such a big decline. I think, you know, Criminal could probably do a little better. You know, everybody's going full fast advance again. HB's probably got a good chance still. You know, they can do the turtling up. If it comes to it, Near Earth Hub's ice is, you know, or NBN's ice is still pretty weak and the kind of thing that Criminals like. Plus they have to try and score out behind one piece of ice. So inside jobs come back into play. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's how it goes. Yeah, maybe I can, good idea, Higgs. I'll play it back at 3 times speed. Oh, of course, live commentary. So, yeah, I'll be talking very quickly like this, and you know what's happening. Whatever, right, I'm done. It was a good game. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of these at normal speed, and what you would have done differently, what you do to improve the deck. You know, Fall Guys, maybe a shout. I wouldn't have had to lose the source when I did. It still would have been quite hard to keep on the board. I never got my draw. You know, I started very early and then never got what I wanted. Yeah, cool. Thanks for watching.